So because of the overwhelmingly positive feedback that I got on that last video that I put up, I thought that I'd show you guys the tutorial to that trick, even though it should be self-explanatory. And some people in the comments even mentioned that I shouldn't make a tutorial because they figured it out. Not everyone is as smart as you guys. You got to realize that. I have a lot of Arabic people watching. I have a lot of Mexicans watching, clearly from the last comments. But for this, I'm going to show you guys how to do this trick so that everyone's happy. It's going to require a little bit of a setup, so you can do whatever sort of story that you want. You could have these represent Mexicans, and then them trying to reach America. You could have some sort of byplay depending on what sort of struggles your country had, if you want to do that. But the setup for this trick is simple enough as it is. You're going to need 3 jacks, an ace of spades or some other different card, and then an X card. This X card could be any card. It really doesn't matter what it is. But that card goes in this order. So we have a jack, we have the X card, we have the 2 remaining jacks, followed by the gold card, or in this case, it represented the good old United States of America. Fuck yeah! The setup for this, you want to have a pinky break right here below the second card from the top, which is the X card. This way it allows you to show all the cards and have some sort of banter and comic byplay. The way you do this is that you just pick up a double here. This is 2 cards. We haven't figured that out. And you could spread the rest. So you hold these 3 in one hand and then show the other card, the X card, the card that they're going to travel to, in the left hand. Now you're going to square everything up and turn over this little packet. Now as I spread these cards to again show that there's only 4 cards, you don't want to go overboard with this little action, as I've seen too many magicians just stay there and do this.
Schnie, schna, schnappi, 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 schnapp. Schnie, schna, schnappi, 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 schnapp.
That went on for too long. So you can just show the cards as singular, but when you square the cards up, what's going to happen is that you're going to get a little break right there below the second card. Again, this is done by squaring up the cards and sticking your little pinky in there, so that way, when you lift up this card and spread these, this is a double and 1 card that's ready to go. So the situation should be as follows. You have the 3 cards in your left hand, and the action that's going to happen with that is you're just going to square this card up, as this hand does a little bit of the magic shake, that multiple sclerosis action. So this hand, all that's going to happen is that you're just going to bring in this second card from the top and try to square it up as neatly as possible with the card below it. So that actually is the X card, but when you square it up, you could actually show it, and there's no X card there. It just seems like one of the jacks jumped over to this hand. So all this hand is doing is, while this hand is doing the move that I'm going to explain to you guys now, this hand is just squaring that card up with the card below it. That's it. This hand has a little bit more of a substantial action. It's going to do that little double lift that I've talked about in another video that I should be putting up here. I should be putting up here, right here. That's where I'm going to put it. Unless that's going to be a link to gay porno. So really it's up to you to trust that link. I wouldn't trust it. I'd probably put gay porno. So this hand is going to do that double lift and spread the cards over to kind of reveal this jack having jumped across and reached the promised land that is the ace, that represents, in this case, the oppression by the Mexicans, by the United States government, or whatever sort of pattern you want to include here. So to cover that one more time, you have 3 cards here, you have 2 cards here. As this hand does the shaking action, this hand squares up, so you can show 1 card to have jumped across. Now what's going to happen after this phase is that you're going to put these 2 cards on top, but you're going to make sure that you have a break below them again, so that when you pick these 2 cards up again, you could spread the top card, the now top card, as if it's the card that just jumped across, but really you have 3 cards. So one more time, you've just gone to this stage right here. This card has jumped across. You've shown both sides to just illustrate the fairness of this jumping procedure. And when you square these 2 cards up with the rest of the deck, you get a pinky break, and immediately pick those 2 cards up again. Spread this card over here, which is going to be the new 3rd card, but they don't know that yet. And you could spread these 2 and say that the next card is going to go on a sombrero, or going to go on, let me think of what other countries are oppressed. Are some sort of, this card is going to represent the Palestinian struggle to the Israelites, or the Israeli struggle to the Palestinians, whatever you want. This is really up to you guys. This is where you show your creativity when it comes to creating magic pattern. So this is really the hardest part of this trick, and you don't even have to do it if you don't want to. But what's going to happen is that you're going to square this card up with this with the left hand. You're just going to square the cards up and hold them as one at the same time that you're going to throw these cards up in the air and catch them and spread them. So that way it gives a little bit of a visual representation of the card jumping across. So you're going to do both these actions at the same time. The best advice I can give to this is to make sure that you're throwing all the cards up as a unit. You don't want to throw them up individually. If you have particularly sweaty hands because you're dirty and can't afford a shower, then this is not the right thing to do. You could just spread the cards out just as simply and show that there's another card that way. But if you want to do the risky way because you have a giant penis, then this is the way to do it. So remember, as you're squaring up the cards in the left hand, you're going to throw these cards up in the air and catch them. As you catch them, they should spread apart so you could show the card has jumped and made its way to freedom. So let me show you what that looks like. It should look a little bit like that if you do it like you're autistic. Sometimes it turns out neater than other times, but you're trying to just kind of have a visual way of the card jumping across into the other hand. So once you get to this phase, you could show very cleanly that the card has jumped to reach its freedom point right here in the United States of America. And the next move is that you're just going to flip these two cards over as one onto this packet. So that now you're going to be ready to do a double lift. This is a double, remember that? So the last phase, we're left in this position. You're going to square this card up on the right hand packet and obviously retain a pinky break so that way you could put this card on top of the deck and be ready for the last phase. Now the last phase is really going to be up to you, but right now you're in a situation where you have 4 cards, of which the ace is going to be in the middle and the other 2 cards are obviously going to be jacks. Now if you flip everything over, again keeping this as a double lift, it's all the Taco Bell I had. See, I don't hate Mexicans. I ate Taco Bell. That clearly means that I don't hate Mexicans. So you're going to do this double lift right here as you show this card. And really, if you want this last phase, you're just squaring everything up and just pushing the ace over with the thumb as you spread them over to make it look like that card jumped there. If you want, you can add whatever sort of pop-up move you want. That can work. That's in another video, which I'll be linking up here. That will definitely be gay porno. I would not click on that if I were you. But you could do that pop-up move that I've shown in another video if you want, or you could just as easily have another sort of revelation here. But the simplest is to just spread the cards over and show that last card have traveled through the deck. Apparently, they could see this X card here. It's not going to matter. But that card has apparently traveled up and near the ace of spades. So there you go. That's the trick. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Of course, because this is YouTube, you could go back and rewatch the explanation if you didn't understand it. I don't understand why people don't get that yet. You can just go back. Must be the Mexicans. Fuck them. Well, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Make sure to rate that like button. That's what all the YouTubers say. So rate that like button, guys. I'm gonna go stick my penis in the toaster. Oven.
You again, when I see 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 you again, when I see